Hello students, today we want to look at some practical ways of applying cosine rule. Now the size of a parallelogram are 7 cm and 10 cm and one of its diagonals is 15 cm. Use the cosine formula to find the length of the other diagonal. Now first of all, what is a parallelogram? Is a plane figure that has the opposite sides to be parallel and equal. So if you have this to be a parallelogram, so this side and this side are parallel to each other, and this side and this side are parallel to each other, and they are equal. So now, and we are told that one of the diagonal is 15 cm. So if the longer diagonal is 15 cm, then you are told to look for this diagonal here, this shorter diagonal. But before we can do that, we must be able to get the angle that connects these two parallel sides together. So what is the angle here? So that means you now have something like this, like a triangle. If I now label this rectangle, this parallelogram A, B, C, D. So now I want to consider this particular triangle now to be able to look at this angle that is here. So that means the side facing this side is what? Taken to be my side C. For this angle B, the side facing this B, this angle is what? This I take this to be my small b, and this one D, the side facing this angle here is what? My small d. So the formula says that the square of this side C square should be equal to the squares of these other two sides, b square plus d square minus 2 times b times d cos of this angle. What I'm looking for is the value of this angle. So that means if I substitute, my c is what? 15 square is equal to 10 square, which is b, is 10 square, plus my d is 7 square minus 2 times 10 times 7 times cos c. We are looking for the value of this angle. Now if you find the square of 15 square will give us 225. 10 square is 100. 7 square is what? 49 minus 2 times 10 times 7 is what? 140 cos c. So 100 plus 49 will give us 149 minus 140 cos c. So if I bring this 149 to this side, it will now be minus 225 minus 149 is equal to minus 140 cos c. So 225 minus 149 will give us 76 is equal to minus 140 cos c. So to get cos c, to make cos c the subject of formula, I will divide both sides by the coefficient, which is what? Minus 40. So 76 divided by minus 140 will give us minus 0.429 is equal to cos c. So now that means cos c is equal to minus 0.5429. So to get c, you are going to look for the arc cos of minus 0.5429. When you press your calculator, the arc cos of minus 0.5429 will give us 122.88. So it means that this angle here is 122.88. And since this is a parallelogram, opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So this angle DAB should be equal to angle DCB. Now you now realize that this angle here will be equal to this angle here. So that means if this is 122.88, this angle is also 122.88. Now this angle here will also be equal to this angle here. Opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So if this angle and this angle are equal, that means angle DAB is equal to DCB, this angle and this angle, and angle ADC, this angle is equal to angle ABC, this angle. This angle is equal to this angle. So now you now realize that to be able to get this angle, so if we say we use x to represent those two angles, you know that if you add the angles in this parallelogram together, if you add it together, so the angle here DAB, this angle plus this angle plus this angle plus this angle should be equal to 360, sum of angles in a quadrilateral. So we have known that we have known these two angles, this one and this angle, which is 122.88 plus 122.88 plus, we said should use, since these two angles are equal, let's use x to represent each of them. Plus x plus s is equal to 360. When you add these two angles together to give you 245.76 plus x is 2x equals 360. So your 2x will be equal to 360. This is 245.76. When you bring it here, it will be minus 245.76. When you subtract it, 360 minus 245 plus 76 will give us 114.24. So you divide both sides. To be able to get x, you divide both sides by 2. So when you divide both sides by 2, you realize that the value for your x will be 57.12 degrees. So it means that this angle here is now 57.12 degrees. You realize that we are still dealing with a parallelogram. And we said that this side and this side is 10 centimeters. And we've been able to calculate this particular smaller angle, which is 57.12. Now, considering this triangle, now following this lettering, realize that if this is angle D, this side will be D. Then if this is angle A, this side will be what? Small a. If this is angle C, this side will be small c. So following that lettering, we said that the square of this side will be equal to the squares of the addition of this other two side minus 2 times this other two side, then cos the angle that is here. So when you write that out, you now have what? D square equals a square plus c square minus 2ac cos d. So when you substitute, our d is what we are looking for. So d square is equal to our a is 10 centimeters plus our c, this side is c, which is 7 centimeters, minus 2 times a is 10 times c is 7 times cos angle of d is 57.12. So this square should be equal to 10 square is 100 plus 7 square is 49 minus 2 times 10 times 7 will give us 140 times the cos of 57.12 will give us 0.5429. So when you add 100 plus 49 will give us 149 minus 140 times 0.5429 will give us 76.006. When you subtract this, 149 minus 76.006, it will give you 72.994. So to be able to get the value for the, use this square to find the root of this other side. When you use it to find the square root here, you realize that the square root of 72.994 will give us 8.5436526 centimeters. When you do this with one decimal place, it will give us 8.5 centimeters. So for the work practice, you are going to do this. Number 1, if you are having this triangle, this side is 9 centimeters, this side is 7 centimeters. So this BM is 4 centimeters and MC is 4 centimeters. In triangle ABC, M is the midpoint of BC. So the midpoint of BC is M. Calculate angle B. You are told to look for the value for this angle of B. Hence, calculate AM. This side. You are told to calculate this. Number 2. In triangle ABC, AB is 8 cm, BC is 4 cm, CA is 5 cm, and BC is produced to P so that CP is 4 cm. Use the cosine rule to find cos ACB, hence find AP. Number 3. The size of a parallelogram are 3 cm and 5 cm and include an angle of 144 degrees. Find the length of the diagonals of the parallelogram. Please ensure you like, subscribe, and comment on this video. Thank you.